Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It is the 9th of August. Yes, it is. And as you know, we've been doing Shine the Light, and we've got a very, very, very special guest today. Um, Ivy Mix, and she is awesome. I met her a few months ago. I don't remember how long ago, and she went boom on the scene. And I said, "Whoa, she's special. Definitely special lady. She's done a lot. She's done a lot since she's been here, and very. She's motivated, inspired a lot of people. It's really amazing. So, before I go there, though, I wanted to say something. We know there's some crazy stuff going on behind the scenes with Mr. Mufareh, but we also know this: all of us have been here minimum over 2 years. Some of us 6. And I know there's things out there that people are joining. I'm not going to bash what it is, okay? I'm just not going to do that. But I have looked at it. In fact, somebody signed me up to it. But either way, what I want to tell you is it's not Onpassive. I'm not going to put it down, but it's not Onpassive. And I just want you to remember why you're here. We all heard what's going on. Listen, the person that was beat up the most was Mr. Mufareh, and he's here, and he's still fighting for us. And he promised what we're about to get is even bigger and better than what we thought we had. And we're on our way. Don't worry, but please think about what you're doing. You know, there are some people that we all know that are sharing this business. Look, I am not going to tell you what to do. That I'm just not. But you know, if somebody shares something with you and it's not Onpassive, think twice. Okay. If it was such a great thing, I'm here. I could go. I could go and share and bring in thousands of people. I know I can, but it's not Onpassive. It wouldn't touch Onpassive. Onpassive will change your life. Everything in the last 5, 6 years, I want you to remember. I'm not going to say all the names, but think of all the businesses that popped up, and a few people jumped in them, and they invited a bunch. Where are they now? Where are they now? I've looked at some scripts of some of these businesses. Okay, you can buy them at eBay. You go to the source code, go to the website, right click, look where the domain's from, and look where everything's coming from. That'll give you a clue. Okay? I'm not mentioning any names. Put the website up, right click, go to code source, read down the list. A really nice, robust website will go down and down and down and down. It'll be huge. Some of them are one page. And you can buy that script on eBay. I'm just telling you. Please be careful. I've spent thousands of hours because I believe so much in this company, and I care. Papua New Guinea's got 10,000 people, and I'm talking to Papua New Guinea now too. Look, you're like family. I know things are bad. I get it. But, you know, when Moses took the people out of Egypt, it took 40 years to get to the promised land. Did you know in reality it's an 11-day trip? Walked around in circles. Listen, why? Because if the reward is that great, it can't be easy to get to it. And it is that great. I believe that with all my heart. I believe more in it today than I did any other time I've been here. And contrary to what people think, I'm struggling too. But I know I don't want a dime here and a nickel here and spend $1. Doesn't make sense. I want to change my life. I've never, ever, ever been in a company in 20 years full time. I could go to any company right now and bring in 30,000 people, giving me, Mike, and Dan the time. Targeted people. I don't care what which one it is. I promise you that. And I'm not leaving Onpassive. In fact, any ideas I have where I can help other people in Onpassive, like go a little quicker, I will. Dan will. Mike will. That's fact. I could go out and do it right now and make a few bucks. If I didn't care about people, I'd be out there now. And I'm struggling just like everybody else. So don't kid yourself. Don't believe everything you hear. If you don't believe me by now, then stop watching me. You've been wasting 6 years. I'm not getting something on the side, a little bit under the table. I'm getting nothing. But I know what I'm going to get because of the man we're following. I've never, ever, ever met a man like him. He hasn't changed. He's here. Any normal man, any normal average person would have jumped ship a long time ago. From founders doing dumb things and now getting beat up on both ends. Come on. Standing tall throughout it all with Mufareh, like the sticker says. Please, please think about what you're doing. And I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. I'm not going to bad-mouth the company. But there's things you can look at very simple. Right-click on any website, look at the source code, find out where they're from. And if the CEO comes on and talks to you honestly and tells you and gives you facts of what's going on, okay. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. And I look at all these shiny objects. Why? Because I know some people are going to jump in them. And I don't want them to get hurt. You're wasting your time. I'm just telling you. Anyway, I got a cold. I don't want to make it all doom and gloom. I'm sorry, because I would only do this because this person's on, because this person will blow this up. All right. Well, I'm not being negative. I feel for people. I really do. Anyway, this, like I said, Ivy Nix is here. She is a superstar. She is she's just a bright, shining star. Helps everybody. Cares about everybody. So I'm sorry I did that stuff in the beginning. No, I'm not sorry. I meant it. Sorry. I'm sorry I said I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and he can introduce her. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Good morning, Marty. I can add a lot more to what he said, but I won't. But I want to talk about this beautiful sister who we call Ivy Mix, who I've met through webinars. I've never met her personally. I know that she has a big heart. I know that she's helped people. I know that she helps people. I know that she's very well educated. Her faith is extremely strong, which I love. Everyone knows it. I say it every day. And she's just an amazing lady who came onto the scene. And we were just talking to her. She says, I'm really not a talker, kind of shy. Her husband's the talker. And I'm like, wow, she could talk. And when she talks beautifully. I know Marty made some snippets of her and put them out there, and it fired a lot of people up. So on that note, Mr. Marty, can you bring Miss Ivy Mix on the camera? There she is. Don't say nothing yet, Ivy, until you get your steer in the screen there. Ivy is not only beautiful, she's got a great personality, but she really has a humbled heart, and I love her for it. So Ivy Mix, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And I just wanted to say thank you to Marty and Chris and the whole Onpassive family. Onpassive family is a great family. At times we forget our greatness. Your greatness starts from the day you are born. From the day Onpassive was born. From the day each and everybody met Ash, that greatness was launched. So if you've forgotten the day you became great, apart from the day you were born, the day you were shown where you were going to. So I just want to thank God for letting me be part of this great nation. It's indeed a nation. My name is Ivy Mix, and at times I don't know what it is about my name. It's my name. It's not, somebody says, are you a DJ? Somebody says, do you sell drinks? It's my husband's name, trust me. And so many years I used to like wonder, I mean, why didn't you change your name? So the original name from his tribe is Michael. And the way they say Michael in his language is Mikush. So people kept on saying Mikush, 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 and it became Mix. So that's what is in the lineage of the family. So immediately I heard that that name was originated from the angel Michael. I said, come on, I like that name. Because Michael is the one that fights our battles on God's behalf. So if you watch the Michaels in Onpassive, they are dangerous. We have Mike Ellis and we have Michael Williams. There's something about that Michael. I said, no, I want it. So I'm so proud to carry that name. And it made it easy for me anytime I had to log in and log out. From Africa. I was born in London. How I ended up in London, talking about sports, my dad was an Olympic warrior. My dad ran the Commonwealth Games. We are British. We were colonized by the British. So the British has the Commonwealth. All the countries they have, excuse me to say, I wouldn't say colonized, but countries they've partnered with, because we have advanced in civilization. So we use very good words. So those countries always have what we call the Commonwealth Games. Now, my dad was a hero in that game. He was the #1 sprinter in Africa in the 40s and in the 50s, I think. I've forgotten, maybe the 50s. No, in the 50s. He used to run the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. My dad was like people used to put bets on him in countries, and indeed he would win. So I think he had won a very critical race, pitted against another very fast runner. And when my dad won that race, the government of Ghana said, it's either two ways. Either the British sponsored him to come and live in Britain in the 50s. In the 50s with my mom. So that is how I was born. So I was born in London, and my father was a runner, a winner until the day he died. So my dad, when he retired from running, he became the coach of the greatest football team in our country. It's called Asante Kotoko. Now, surprisingly, the token of that football team is the porcupine. And why did they call the porcupine? It says that ukum apima apimbeba, when you take out, you see those nails from the porcupine. As soon as some goes out, some comes back. They never say die. And that is what Ash means to me. 2 days ago, I was thinking about him. I said, my mom always sat me down and said, never say die until the bones are rotten. You never give up. And then my grandmother would say, can these bones live? So the bones can also live, because according to the Bible in Ezekiel, when God asked the prophet, can these bones live? The bones all came back together. So there's no giving up. There's no dying. There's no perishing in Onpassive. It makes me like this company. It makes me, I've been asked so many times. I said, when you have somebody who is leading you like that, there's no stopping. I was so scared to come on here because I said, what do I have to say about myself? I don't have anything to say because I've joined greatness, something greater than me. So that is how I was born, and in London. And then my family were family, like obviously they're traveling for the sports. My daddy had over, I think 20 or 40 passports. My daddy was a winner. And Ash is a winner. My dad was a winner. That Olympic spirit that we are in now. And I will tell you a story too. He was invited by the Olympic Committee in 1994 to come to America for the great 100th Olympic ceremony. So I lived in a city where he could come and take a plane. So I took him to the airport and I said, Dad, I will watch you when you are representing the country. You know how they go around the field. So I bought this big TV and I'm sitting in front of my TV waiting for my dad to pass on the TV, and I'll tell him, Dad, I saw you. 8 hours or maybe 12 hours after I had dropped him at the airport and I saw the airplane take off, I had a message from the Ministry of Sports that your dad is passed, he's dead. I said, no, it's not my dad. That's not my dad. My dad is going to the Olympics. I'm waiting to watch him on the TV. They said, no, you don't understand. He passed when he was passing from the plane. You know, when you disembark and you're in transit in Frankfurt. From Accra to Frankfurt, my dad passed in the on the way to the in transit. So here am I waiting for him to watch him 1994 Olympics. I had just had my daughter and I had told him that you come back and we find, I'm telling you. And then they brought back, instead of watching him on that field walking around, I met his coffin at the same place where I picked him up. So when I meet a winner, because he was a winner, the morning of when he died, I took him to the track field. He ran 4 laps. That was his practice. And then he passed. So what am I bringing this out for? We are winners. We are winners. We can fight until the day we go down. He was in his element. He was on the way to the 1994 Olympics in Atlanta. We are on our way somewhere, guys. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to say that it's not going to work. This is not the time to say the dream is not going to be. It's going to be. And there's great things that I learned from Ash, which I'm a family girl, because we were brought up. My mom had eight kids, and my mom was into my dad. So it was like all the time she needed was to be with my dad. So she made us very self-sufficient. So she was like, she would put strength in your heart. You go to my mom and say, well, Mom, I think somebody doesn't like me. She would ask you, why does the person have to like you? What qualities do you have that the person should like about you? So what did that do? It made you look into yourself. Just like Jesus would say, look into yourself. Check yourself out first before you check your brother out. So I grew up knowing that the other person was valuable. The other person, we should not bring the other person down. I grew up in a family where my grandma, I had taken her to a village to go and buy glasses for her because she could not see. And she was hungry. So I went to look for bread for her. When I gave her the bread, I gave it to her and I just went back to get some water. When I came back, the whole loaf of bread was gone. I said, you couldn't have eaten that bread in 2 minutes? She said, I gave it to people who needed it. That woman had a baby and the baby was hungry. And I gave it to that baby. I was like, before I was taken aback, I was not happy about it. But I was thinking, a 90-year-old woman forgetting her own hunger and giving it, isn't that what Ash is? Forgetting himself. Isn't that what we are taught in the Bible? Forget ourselves and do for others. Another great thing Ash did. I'm telling you, I'm somebody who, like I said, I don't talk on my own. Like, I'm a very quiet, ultra quiet person, you know. But on my own, I'll just be observing things. So we are built from our family. One day, he said he had gone to a place in Florida, and his children were helping feed some people in a car park or something like that. And he talked about how he and his wife had to go home. That helped. I remember it very well. Ash, you're right on track. My dad used to stand, we had an industrial laundry, and he used to stand on the top of that laundry, and all the madmen, when I say madmen, lunatics in that city, would come to him, and he'll give everybody $1, let's say $1, that equivalent, to feed them for the day. And I saw him do that. And I used to think, I don't think these people are mad, because if they know every day to find their way to where their bread is, then their brains were working. These were stark, raving lunatics. But what lesson did it teach me that I attribute to Ash? At that young age, about maybe 16 years old, because for over 20 years, I saw my dad doing that. So it's so automatic to help the needy. So when Ash was help with his children and they were feeding the needy, I said, these children are made for life. That's how you learn. Giving is not easy. We have billionaires that cannot give. But when you can pass it on generationally, then you're somebody worthy of emulation. Thank you for that example. It's always in my heart. And I just want to say, brothers and sisters, when we come on, let's listen to Ash's heart. Scientists have found out that there is a brain in the heart. There's a brain in the heart. You talk to a woman, give the woman a whole house, and then you don't hug her or remember her anniversary. She has cause to say that I don't want you anymore. Why? That heart in the brain was not activated. The heart in the brain is a different heart, a real heart. And when it connects to the heart up here, I'm telling you, great things happen. What did Ash say? He says the company with a heart. He said it many times, and those are my pointers. I'll just be looking at those things. He said a company with a heart. That is a brain connected to the heart, a brain connected to the company, a brain connected to AI. The Bible says, taste and see what is good. The Bible says, did not our heart burn within us? When somebody is talking to you and the person is speaking truth, the person is speaking power, like he did this Wednesday, my heart was burning within me. I called friends of mine. I said, the original Ash is back. The original Ash, our heart was burning within us. Your heart speaks, and he speaks to our heart more than your pocket. Listen to his heart. Listen to his mind. Great, great, great pointers. And the Bible says that the people who sat in darkness saw a great light. Why am I so full of faith? My grandma, when she was 6, she started being spiritual. She departed from the Presbyterian church, and then she was now Pentecostal. Do you know, many years she used to walk up and down all the streets spreading the gospel. In those days, a woman. So there's nothing unusual about doing something unusual. Be unusual. Let Onpassive be unusual in your life. Let them talk about it. She was marching up and down. Now, what did it do? It instilled God in me. Up till now, in the midnight, no matter how tired I am, I'll be getting up to pray and read the Bible 2 hours a day. We pray for everybody. We pray for Ash. There are some of us who can stand. If you've been trained to do something, you exercise it. If I've been trained to pray by reason of my upbringing, I'm going to stand in it. If I've been trained to be a winner by reason of my dad, I'll instill it in everybody. We all have to be winners. This Olympics, just like Michael Williams was saying, look at the relay, is a team effort. I'll tell you a funny story. When my dad comes, my dad used to train this great football team in my country. When they lose, do you know what happens? My mom would say, they lost, so everybody, my mom will say, oh, well, he's coming home. When he gets home, everybody will be in their rooms. Nobody will say anything to him, would hide. So one day I told my mom, I said, why do we have to hide when the team lost? Why don't we go and comfort him? Then my mom said something to me. She said, silence is golden. She says the time when the person is struggling most, at times we have to keep quiet. And then when I look at Onpassive, when we had the storm, this is not the time to be asking what is going on. Why didn't they tell me this? Why didn't they send an email? Why is it? No, this is the time for silence. Silence is golden. Silence is power. Silence heals. This is the time we stand with our Ash in power and in silence. I understood it after many years. I just want to say thank you for this great day. I don't know if I was shaking when I was coming. I was telling Yesterday I was sick in the night. I almost did not come. I said, Chris, I don't want to say anything. I don't know anything about myself. Okay, another thing I can say about myself now is can you believe it? I was in a convent. My parents put me in a Catholic convent. This spirituality is not going to depart from me. They put me in a convent. So that's how I know Momodu's country. Because my parents had gone there and I went to a convent and I was living with the nuns. And then every time in class, they would, I don't know why I was being picked on, just like Chris does. It's like, you have to say something. I said, I'm shy, I'm scared. They say, no, you have to say something. Do you know, I was so shy and afraid that when all the other kids were praying, I'll be reading. I read over, I don't know how many books I've read. It's beyond your imagination. It got to a point, even in my adult age, I read 100 pages every day on every kind of subject. It was because of that reserve, because of that, you don't want to talk. Some people feel that, oh, you can talk. No, I had to think. So these nuns would pull me to the class. Ivy read, Ivy talk. Then do you know what happened? When I got to high school, we had something from, I don't know if it was a United Nations or somebody from a great international agency that came. And they said the person was coming to speak. And you know, the person did not come. So here's me. I'm just there. I always go like I do to every webinar to support, to give strength. I don't go to speak. So here am I sitting quietly in my corner. And then all my classmates pulled me forward. Ivy, we want you to speak. We want you to lead this thing. Then I started just talking. And then it was like, I don't know. Just being scared, but just being real. Then I remembered my grandfather. He says, anytime you can connect your heart to your mouth, to your brain and to your mouth, you will say the right thing. Brothers and sisters, your heart is precious. From time to time, just touch your heart. Just touch your heart. God gave it to us. God said our hands heal. We shall lay our hands on the sick and they shall recover. Lay your hands on your heart. Any hurt, any pain in it will go. Anything that you don't understand, let your heart speak to you. Let your heart tell you that this thing that we're following, we haven't followed cunningly devised fables like the Bible will say. This is not a story. This is a reality. And in closing, talking about my great ash, I remember right now, as I am in school, my teacher came, a professor. He said he was the one that helped revamp IBM. And they paid $100 million to the person who was in charge then they said, what did he do? He said he needed $100 million to let people believe in him. And then the most important thing out of this conversation was they found ways to get plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So that is what carried this great company on. Then I said, well, they didn't pay my Ash to do that. Ash said he had a plan A, he had a plan B. Sometime he came back and he told us this is not all. He always has another plan for us. We don't have to pay him for that. He always has a plan A, plan B, plan. He has plans. So do you know what? Somebody like that, you can lay your life on him. You can go to rest. On Wednesday, he said he is working for us. He went back to that. And I was thinking, if they are paying 100 million for people to just do plan A, plan B, plan C, my CEO did it on his own. This is a great, great, great company to be in. Just thinking about myself and what to say, just shaking and just depending on my two corners, Chris and MARTY. I cannot say thank you enough. So here am I. My background is a lot and it's great. It's full of stories, but I just want to say thank you to MARTY. Thank you to Chris. And I just love everybody in Onpassive. And this is a company with a heart. And day in, day out, I'll just give my time and my life to them. Thank you.
Well. And you were nervous.
I got to get the fire extinguisher. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Wow, I didn't know that about your father. That's a really cool story I didn't know nothing about. I love that. I love that you come
Wow.
from a winning family, a supportive family. You know, a lot of the stuff you talk about is always about the Bible and God, which of course I love. That's me. That's you. I know that, and I know that you have stride yourself in getting as much education as you can in that brain. You talked about how many books, you wouldn't believe how many books I've read, and the smartest people in the world that I know of read constantly every single day. And I'm talking to one of them, not two of them, just one of them right now. I know I'm just joking, Marty, but Ivy, you were fantastic. A lot of really great comments in here. You definitely showed your spirit, your love for Onpassive, and what Ash Mufareh is trying to doing for all of us. And I loved it. So, Ivy Mix, I want to thank you very much. Marty?
Ivy, what am I gonna do with you? Nothing. Uh no, hearing your past now makes sense why you are who you are. Because the journey that we take in life is who we are today, right? And you got the best from your father. He'd be proud of you. I haven't met him, but I know looking at you now, he would be very proud. I am. And I'm so glad you came. You have, and you're going to inspire many people. You've said really important things about when Ash comes on, listen to what he's saying from here. People get too wrapped up in what they want to hear. Listen to what he's saying. And you're right. I'm here because of Ash's heart, because he's honest, and I believe in it. I believe in him. I believe in the journey. I'm not going anywhere, just like you, Ivy. And together, one drop of water doesn't do much, but with all of us, we make an ocean. So thank you very much. I want to say that. Thank you for coming. Any closing goodbyes or anything from anyone?
Ivy, go ahead.
I just want to say, I just want to say thank you to Ash. We love you unconditionally. You, and also we love Onpassive. And I also want to say that we know there was a setback, but there's going to be a comeback. And I know you're going to surprise us. Every day I tell myself, Ash is going to surprise us. Don't worry. So we're in for a good surprise, a beautiful surprise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like you said, Ivy, I like what you just said there. Consider us the underdog. Underdogs always come back, and they win Super Bowls, they win World Series. This one is going to win the world over. Ash Mufareh has gone above and beyond, and I know Marty talked a little bit about it in the beginning. Stay patient. Patience is what built this world. Patience is what built amazing people. And stay patient. New stuff coming soon. My opinion is what is Ash is going to talk about, and you'll be all blown away. But really, don't chase other things. This is why you were all here in the first place, because you guys chased, not me, I could say that. You guys chased every shiny object out there, and you came into Onpassive, and we're not a shiny object. We're something that's real. It's lovable. It's believable. It's a heart, like Ivy says and Ash says. So be strong. If you are doing things that you shouldn't be doing, I would just stop. I mean, that's my opinion. I do get a lot of messages from things that people are saying or doing, and I ask, listen to your brother Ash Mufareh. Don't run away. Okay, I'm going to say one name, Punk Panda. Where the hell is that? Right? You guys all jumped on Punk Panda, and boom, a month later, we don't hear about it. So that's what I'm saying. When you jump on these other objects, they're going to promise you the world. Ash has never promised you the world. He just said dream bigger. Hang tight to what he says. Okay? I don't need to have people sending me messages, and they're not always so nice. I believe in Ash Mufareh. I know Ivy does. I know Marty does. And just hang in there. Because, listen, if you don't believe in something, you got nothing. And I believe in him 100%, like all of us. All right, Marty, I'm done. Back to you. Ivy, appreciate you. I love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love you, Ivy. Chris, I have to deal with you. So Anyway, goodbye.